So, how to figure out if a white dude's motives for dating you as a black woman, how to figure out what they are, what they could be, what are some of the perspectives, and it's been interesting, the comment section, and us interacting and talking and having an exchange and a dialogue. You teach me things with your perspectives and comments, and I hopefully give you some insights and perspectives, and it allows an opportunity for us to all grow and mature and learn. And that's awesome. Like, anytime we have open dialogue between people, there's growing, and there's good things happening. We all, no matter what we look like, no matter how attractive or unattractive we are, or no matter what color or race or ethnicity or religion or all of the physical characteristics aside, we all want to feel loved. We all want to feel cared about. We all want to feel secure in our relationship. We all want to feel comfortable. We all want to feel like our partner is home. We all want to feel supported. And we want that. I talk about the relationship bubble a lot. We all want the safety of that relationship bubble. And it doesn't matter. Nothing else matters. There's nothing else that matters. That's universal. And finding somebody with the right intentions and the right motives and similar goals and similar devotion to the relationship is really important. And you definitely don't want to end up with somebody that is in a relationship with you for the wrong reasons. So I was sort of going over in my head some of the motives that a white guy could have for dating a black woman, and hopefully I can offer you some perspectives and some ideas on what to look out for. We all do have our things that are super important to us, really like must-haves, and for you that could be religion, and maybe religion is more important than anything else because that's just a core center part of your life, and something you need to share with a partner. Maybe it's travel, maybe it's a large family. For me, I like very traditional gender roles. To a degree, I think I like efficient relationships. I like you doing what you're good at, me doing what I'm good at, and there being some structure there, and everybody sort of knowing their place in the relationship or the dynamic. So that's really important to me. But anyway, back to my topic. So every dude has, and you can ask some guys this, they all have the list. They all have this checklist that they want to sleep with. A tall girl, short girl, Hispanic girl, Asian girl. There's stereotypes amongst all of them, for different reasons. And you don't want to be on a dude's list. You just don't. So I don't really know how you protect yourself against that. I think if you're with a guy who's never been with a black girl before, that's, I would definitely not say something to be concerned about, but you're going to get a feel for what they're really pushing. And I said it in another video, I'll say it in a lot of videos, but boys sleep with a girl the first chance they get. Men wait until it's right. And I will say another thing that I say in a lot of videos: always hold off on sex. Wait at least a month, if not 2. It just makes sense. It allows your relationship to mature, and for things to grow, and for your judgment to not get clouded. I think sex really turbocharges the emotional component of a relationship, and you'll find, and I'm sure if you've done this before, you find that it's kept you in a relationship that you otherwise may not have been in. So sex too fast, a guy pushing for sex too fast, those are red flags just in general, but especially if you're questioning what their motives are and you feel like you fall into a category that could be a fetish. And we all have preferences, so that's a difficulty. It's hard to tell if somebody just prefers being with somebody for a particular quality or if it's a fetish. And I touched on this in another video, but I mean, you have to trust yourself. You have to have some faith in yourself to be able to sort of gauge somebody's motives and where their obsession level is. I think if somebody's commenting a lot on making the candy beverage comments, if they're referring to you as mocha, their mocha dream, or their Cocoa Surprise, or what the fuck ever. I never understand it. Maybe you like it. Maybe you think it's weird, but I would say if somebody has a excessive fascination, I don't think there's anything wrong with embracing differences. I think that's one of the fun things in interracial dating is you do have an opportunity to embrace some of the differences and be like, oh, you do this? I would have never thought of that. Or, oh my God, you can't. Here's a really good example. I'll give you a couple good examples. My last relationship I was in, the girl, she had brown eyes, dark brown eyes, and I'm in Arizona. So we walk out of the house to go somewhere, and I was like, like my eyes were hurting. Like I was trying to walk, and I was like, I was all squinted and weird, and she was fine. And like that was the first. I'm 43 now. I was 42, 41 at the time. It was the first time in my life I realized that my eyes were just more sensitive to light. So that's like and I was just fascinated by that. I was like, wow, that's so crazy. That's like it tripped me out. Another one, I remember the first time I kissed a black girl. I was in a park in Milwaukee. This is a long time ago, and I don't have little lips, right? I mean, they're not tiny lips. I don't have like those really funky like little ass lips that kind of weird you out. Like you're like, how does he keep food in his mouth? He doesn't have any lips. But I kissed this girl, and she definitely had bigger lips than mine. She was a black girl, like I said, and so I kissed her, and I wasn't used to kissing somebody that had bigger lips than me. It might have been the first time that it ever happened. So we kissed, and we stopped, and it was funny because I was thinking it as I was kissing her. I was like, oh, this is different. And so we stopped kissing, and she goes, does it feel like your lips are too small for mine? And it was kind of this funny moment where it was like I was thinking her lips were big, and she was thinking my lips were small. And it was just a difference, and I thought it was so interesting how she phrased it as opposed to how I was thinking it, and how perspective comes into play so much. So I think it's perfectly fine to embrace some differences, and I talk in a lot of my videos about the BDSM community, and I know that there's a fraction of that even gets into race play to some degree. So if that's your thing, I learned a long time ago not to yuck anybody's yum. So I've seen black women and black men that have some interest in race play, and I wouldn't be like ashamed or weirded out if that's something that's of interest to you, if it's a mutual thing. I wanted to touch on that just because I don't ever want to make a topic and leave somebody feeling like they're excluded from it, or like there's something weird about them if they like something that's unconventional. But I think another thing would be somebody who only dates black women. That's confusing to me. I think only dating a specific race, life is hard. It's hard to find somebody that's compatible. It's hard to find people. We're really simple creatures at the end of the day, but we make life very complex, and we have a lot of very specific goals in modern times. They don't always align with other people. There's a lot of things that are divisive, and so it's hard to find somebody you're compatible with. So if you find a guy that is white and only dating black women, I would be concerned about that. He's probably giving up something really important for a reason that is probably fucked up. I'm not gonna, I can't even take a guess at what that is really, but obviously, if you can, especially if you're only dating a specific minority, I mean, black people are 13% of the population, so if you can rule out an entire portion of the population and then just specifically date one particular race, I would say that there's some sort of fetish or some underlying motive there that would definitely require some further exploration, and I would think about. There's also the dudes that really like black culture, and I think that they think there's some validation to be found in being with a black woman, and you know that's that I would really question to some Paul Wall Eminem type dude. That would probably weird me out a little bit. I'd be a little bit reluctant to jump into a relationship with somebody that seemed like they were just trying to get credit in the community or amongst their friends or something for being with a black girl. Like somehow that validates a part of them or makes them more black or whatever's going on in their head. Now, with that said, I'm going to show you something funny in a second, but there is a difference between, so me, for example, I've always felt more connected to black music, for example, or let me just say music with more heart and more soul in it. And forever I have liked things that probably would be considered more black culture, and so it is hard for me at times. I don't care. I don't date people based on music preference, but if I break out some old music, if I have if somebody doesn't know who Quincy Jones is, or if I have some Babyface and they're like, who is this, or you know, even if it's something more obscure like The Boys or something from or Troop. Oh my God, remember Troop? But you know, if I have something, I like when somebody knows that stuff. It's not a deal breaker for me if they don't, but it helps if they do. And that goes back a long way for me. I'm going to show you this picture of me. This is a really old picture. That's obviously me. And, man, how do I get the sun out of there? Do you know who that is? Can you identify who that is? That was a really, really long time ago. And, man, that must have been about 32 years ago or something like that. So that was a long time ago, but there was always a part of me that, you know, I didn't relate to my parents' music. I didn't relate to Creedence Clearwater Revival and Fleetwood Mac, and you know, not that I thought it was bad music, it just was like, oh, that's just music, and I never related to it. And when I started hearing more Ella Fitzgerald and Miles Davis, and I was more like, what's that? I want more of that. So I think sometimes something just resonates, and so there's resonates, you know, just like you're on the same frequency, and there's like it harmonizes with something inside you. But I don't want to be black, so you know, I'm not trying to be black. I'm not looking for validation in a partner to make me seem like I, you know, am more black or something like that. I guess I don't really know why those dudes, but you know the dude, right? I mean, he's got like the baggy pants, and you know, he talks all weird, like he's from the hood, and he's really trying. So I think there's a distinction there between that guy and somebody who maybe just embraces or feels more comfortable with certain black culture things. So I think that's about it for this video. I have hit 1,000 subscribers thanks to you all, and I posted a little 1,000 subscriber video, and so go ahead and comment in there, and I'm gonna do on the 10th, I'm gonna do a little comment picker and pick a comment and send somebody a little thank you gift. So jump in on that. If you have any comments, I'd love to hear them. Hopefully this helps and gives some perspective. I never feel like I touched on everything I wanted in a video, but hopefully I got somewhat to the point and addressed some things that were on people's minds. So, all right, later.